people here have bought something on Wish, the shopping app? Raise your hands. Raise it high. Own it, don't be scared. Cool. How many people here have never heard? It's cool, I need the honesty here, and everyone's very fucking like this. How many people here have never heard of Wish, the shopping app? Raise your hands. This is the best moment of my life. One more time. You have not heard of Wish, the shopping app? Raise your hands. High. Okay, this is the best. Thank you very much. Wish, depending on who you listen to, because it's a private kind of thing, company, is doing anywhere between $3 to $6 billion in revenue. Wish is probably the closest thing to any kind of conceivable threat to Amazon in the world. Wish is doing $3 to $6 billion in sales. They're spending 98% of their money outside of a Los Angeles Lakers patch on the jersey and the McGregor-Mayweather fight. They bought the corner. Outside of those two activations, they were spending 98% of their money on Facebook ads. Wish's founders are engineers from Google that worked on the Google AdWords product. Wish is doing $3 to $6 billion in sales, and more than half of this room, not some fucking random 100 people on the street in London, this room, more than half of the people don't even know what it is. That is the punchline.
A Philippine podcast show dedicated to help you thrive for greatness.
This guy is phenomenally passionate about what he does.
How freaking amazing Jameer is. So skilled and so qualified, and I highly recommend him.
Without a doubt, the best funnel builder I've ever come across.
Yeah, really into the detail, and cannot recommend him highly enough.
Not only was efficient and fast, but he understood the project.
The person who built our entire funnel from beginning to end and has been with us since day one is Jameer.
Nothing But Up, the podcast. With your host, Jameer Angelo.
I'm always flexing.
Great day to all of you. Welcome to the podcast. This is Nothing But Up, the podcast, episode 13. And guys, we're killing it. This is the very first Philippine podcast show that provides you the game. No BS, straight and laser focused and dedicated to help you go through all the way up. Right? So we're killing the market, guys. We have over 5,000 downloads across the board. Shout out to everybody that has supported the show: the Netherlands, New York, New Jersey, California, Houston, UAE, some parts in Australia, and of course everybody in our country, the Philippines. People finding our podcast as their main resource for learning, information, awareness, and their weekly dose of inspiration. So once again, thank you so much for tuning in. If you haven't followed us yet, what are you waiting for, right? So it's never too late. Follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. And look, just starting this week, I'm going to be rolling out something interesting for all of you. So just look out for that. I'm going to be trying to do a draw in our Facebook fan page. That's Funnel Expert PH, to announce the winner. Just to show some love to you guys. This one's all for you. I'm looking into giving away, a Nothing But Up podcast T-shirt, Nothing But Up podcast hoodie, and Nothing But Up podcast the cap. So I'm meaning to do that, and looking to get that going hopefully by this week. So watch out for a few announcements, and all you're gonna need to do, as proposed, is just to simply leave a rating on Apple Podcast, search Nothing But Up the podcast, and you will have the chance to win the following, like what I mentioned: the T-shirt, the hoodie, or the cap. And probably I'm going to give away some cash prizes as well. And that's all you're going to need to do. Send me over some screenshots on my Facebook fan page. And again, that's Funnel Expert PH. And then once I have that, I'm going to get your names, and we're going to be drawing the winner live on the episode for the next coming one. So just be on the lookout. I'm just going to be posting some updates for you on Funnel Expert PH Facebook fan page. Anyway, fun times. Let's go. And yeah, today's topic is all about the power of Facebook advertising. And this is extremely important if you're building out funnels, if you're running a business, whether offline or online. It doesn't really matter. You should seriously listen or watch on today's episode to learn the best practices and why you need to capitalize on this marketing platform. We have the best Facebook expert I've known and the best copywriter I have worked with us on our show today. They are the owner of The Social Tap, my digital nomad friends from the Netherlands. So would be happy to, introduce them over to you in a little while. But you see, Facebook has probably around 1.8 billion monthly users across the globe. And you can all expect the assurance that whatever business you run and in whatever industry or specialty, a great level of your target audience will be on Facebook. Those buyers, those leads or customers are definitely on Facebook. And regardless of the fact that Facebook is the most flexible long-range social networking platform for advancing your business among your target audience, it is extremely difficult to ace the Facebook ad engine as the algorithm changes frequently, right? And while Facebook offers immense opportunities for focusing on your audience, it is still full of secrets that even an accomplished marketing expert will be amazed. These secrets are altogether related to the Facebook advertising procedures, and if uncovered, they will clearly help you in understanding some of the fundamental steps required for marketing your business effectively through their platform. Now, with Facebook's exceptional and fancy algorithms, those clients are very unlikely to see posts from closest, companions, let alone business pages, unless you raise the stakes with sponsored posts, right? You'd be able to literally see that when you scroll over your news feed and you see some sponsored ads pop up your way and piques your interest because you're already within the Facebook algorithm and you were pixeled. And Facebook ads are generally cheap compared with different sorts of online promoting, highly powerful, and your advertisement details are effortlessly measurable, which is good. Considering the measure of individual data in Facebook's database, they are enabled to get ridiculously detailed with your focusing on anything in client's profile, like the age, your sex, location, education, religion, interest, legislative issues, work title, marital status, and so on. Can be utilized as a filter for your promotions. So it is really, really powerful. This also permits your advertisement campaign to have a laser-centered focused ad for viewers, guaranteeing that the general population who see your promotions are high likely to be your ideal client eventually. Okay? But yet again, we always hear horror stories all over the internet, like heavy costs on ads, failed campaigns, no return of investments, and continuously losing investment capital running Facebook ads. And these results are somehow caused by a variety of reasons. Could be the funnel not being congruent with the ad creatives. It could be the copy. It could be that the ad creatives or the targeting is wrong. Just tons of reasons behind. And but we are so fortunate today as we have a real expert on Facebook ads and a real expert in terms of copywriting to help us understand the best practices and basics of Facebook advertising. We have Paul Dezou and Rachel Xavier on our show today, so just be on the lookout. This guy's kick-ass, man. I mean, we had so many campaigns. I mean, we had together. Working with them was the best. So perhaps let's relive history today. But for now, let's try a quick take a quick break. And when we get back to our show, let's get them in. Stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
As they say, food takes people to places. So during these crazy times, one can take his taste buds on a trip to Western Visayas by trying out one of its specialties. If you've ever been to Negros Occidental, you may have already tried its famous comfort food, Cansi. It's a dish made with slow-cooked beef shanks in deep sour broth soup. Bacolod City is particularly famous for Cansi. It's an iconic Ilonggo dish that is now available in Cebu. Good news for Cebuanos. You can now indulge with a bowl or two of Cansi in Cebu. Introducing Cole's Cansi. Located in the heart of Cebu. Open to serve you daily. To order, visit and message them on Facebook. Satisfy your craving and relieve that stress away. Cole's Cansi, an iconic Ilonggo dish that is now available in Cebu.
I'm always flexing.
Hey guys, welcome back to the show. This is Nothing But Up, episode 13, the podcast. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's not hold this off any longer because I know that you are dying to listen and hear them out. I'm also freaking excited to have them on board on today's show. Well, the Social Tap, the marketing agency, is made up of marketing experts who have made it in their life's mission to spread the message, the services, the products of amazing business owners and entrepreneurs through Facebook ads and funnels. They've made over thousands of campaigns already and made many six-figure campaigns right in their belt. Now, these campaigns were for all kinds of businesses, including coaches, events, conferences, local businesses, and e-commerce. They've also built hundreds of funnels, and their team, has built funnels for the biggest names out there, including well-known marketers, famous celebrities, and members of the Two Comma Club. They've also worked with startups right the way through hitting seven figures. So they are the best in what they do. Ladies and gentlemen, the founders of the Social Tap, I'd like to welcome you all, Paul Dezou and Rachel Xavier. Welcome to the show, guys. Missed you too.
Miss you, bro. Missed you. So happy to be here. Thanks for having us.
Wow, finally here. I hope you loved the intro.
Loved it. Very nice. Thank you.
It's been an honor. It's an honor for me to have you on my podcast show, guys. I know we've worked with tons of campaigns already, right? And I've literally enjoyed every single bit of it. So I'm hoping you guys are okay. You're back in your country now, right?
Yeah, we're in Rotterdam, the Netherlands.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why I'm seeing some views and followers from the Netherlands maybe on the podcast show.
Oh, nice. That's good.
Yeah, I'm getting hits there. I'm getting hits from the Netherlands. It's really cool. Going international, and I'm loving it. So, guys, I know that you were stranded for a few months in Thailand, right? What happened there during the pandemic?
We had actually the Netherlands got into lockdown, and we were in Vietnam, and but they had like 0 deaths until maybe last month. So their lockdown was just for 2 weeks. So we were basically, everything was just fine there actually. And then the lockdown started there a few weeks ago, and then we left Vietnam right here. So we were kind of the lucky ones in the world, I would say. Of course, a lot of people not, but so we just got back, and now it's lockdown there. So it's for us wasn't actually too bad personally. I mean, yeah, definitely.
Good. At least, because right here, bro, it's so fucked up. I mean, in our country. Literally, people are suffering from the pandemic, and it really hit us so hard. Living in a third world country like ours is so tough already. How much more with the pandemic going on? And again, I'm so honored to have you here because you being the experts in what you do, Buddy Paul, I know that you're the best there is, man, when it comes to Facebook ads. Hands up. Rachel,
Thank you.
more with you. More with you with copywriting. I mean, I've never ever worked with someone as sharp as you are. So I also remember a campaign we did with a client we had in was it in Dubai, right? Yeah, I think it was in Dubai. I saw how powerful the copy you did for most of the websites or the funnels we did, and it was really phenomenal. It was a good run actually. But man, I literally want to know, guys, how did you guys start with, or what made you to enter the digital marketing world? Maybe let's start with Rachel. Ladies first.
Thank you. Well, we have a very similar story as well, because we're a couple and we started this venture together. We were fresh out of uni without really knowing what to do, not much money. Paul had studied psychology and I studied English media. So we had very kind of marketing ideas in the first place of what we wanted to do, but we love traveling, so that was super important for us in our dream, and we wanted to be therefore location independent. We had a lot of people online saying, yeah, I've made this and this much money and it was so easy, and we just thought it sounded too good to be true until we met someone. And he showed us everything he did, and he showed us the thousands he was making, like in his bank account. And we thought, okay, this is really true. We've seen it in the flesh, and it's possible as long as you have the will to do it, and you have the kind of entrepreneurial mindset.
Yeah.
So yeah, then we started to get coached by him, and we made an affiliate website where we learned. So I learned copy and content writing, and Paul learned Facebook ads and all the back end marketing things you need to know. But we realized the skills that we had learned was much more worth than just our website. So then at the time, though, we didn't have much money. We were doing Airbnb and living at Paul's parents, and Paul was doing music on the street. All of these kind of fun, adventurous things. Yeah, it was so cool.
Yeah, it's nice.
What about you, buddy? I know Rachel shared that you started both, when upon entering the digital marketing world. What about you? Did you, start along with Rachel along the way?
Yeah, we started together. Yeah. So I studied psychology and I really liked marketing in university. And then I met Rachel in Brazil actually for the first time.
Brazil? So you were traveling, okay.
Yeah, I was traveling. Rachel was living with her granny. So we really had that kind of freedom mindset already in this traveling, and this kind of idea that life, we can have like a very nice life. That was kind of our dream, of course, but we didn't know how to get there. So then this guy coached us indeed, and then we started together. And then where were we?
And then we found Upwork. So I was doing copy jobs on Upwork, and Paul was doing Facebook jobs on Upwork. So then we thought, like, okay, we can up this more and do a course. So we did a course and took that really seriously with building funnels and doing Facebook ads. And then eventually we had enough money to go to Thailand. So
you were teaching also first.
Oh yeah, and then so before that I had no money in the Netherlands. So Paul did some ads for me to teach in Rotterdam, and we spent 10 euros, and we did some Facebook posts, and I got about 10 students, and it was it was amazing. So then we really realized the power of Facebook ads
and funnels. Yeah.
Nice story there. I didn't realize that. So you see, bro, you could really imagine, right? The power of Facebook marketing, and I suppose that happened way back in the days, right? Could you say probably it was around what, 2010 maybe?
2000.
15.
15. Oh, see? Imagine during those years, let's say 4 or 5 years ago, you are, of course, pretty familiar that the algorithm literally changed from time to time, right? And mastering the craft is such a pain in the ass, man. Seriously.
Yeah.
I've enrolled with Jason Hornung's course, literally, because I know deep in my heart that funnels and Facebook ads really goes in tandem, right? Along with copywriting, of course. It has to be those key elements. And then it turned out that I just couldn't digest it in my mind. I may be expert with funnels, but not literally with... I did attempt, bro. Seriously, seriously. Run my own ads for my, a physical business here in my country. I was selling caps, because I'm really addicted to caps, as you guys may already be aware. So I did that in the hopes of getting more sales, and then the campaign flopped. So I said like, nah, this is not going to work for me. I know funnels not with Facebook ads. So, having to meet you guys again was such a great opportunity for me. Really opened up my mind, about the power of Facebook advertising. And going back to that, actually, today's topic is really all about, Facebook advertising. I'd really love to pick your brains about it. Why do you think business owners, entrepreneurs, or any business in general should capitalize on doing Facebook ads?
Yeah, good question. I think businesses that want to grow big, they have to find a system where they can advertise and put in $1 and get like $2 out, or let's say 1.50 or even 7 or whatever, some kind of profit. And to build that machine, you need to have, of course, a very good system in the back end and funnels. But on the front end, you need to have a good platform where you can advertise on. Facebook is maybe not for all markets, but I think for a lot of markets, it's a very good place because there's billions of users on Facebook and Instagram. People scroll for hours, sometimes even on their own feed. So there's a lot of real estate for Facebook to give to advertisers, meaning that the cost per click is going to be much cheaper than a lot of other platforms just because of the amount of real estate. And then the third reason is because of the algorithm, like you said, also super powerful. Facebook knows really well who to send the ads to exactly because they get data from all the users of ads. So the power of kind of personalized marketing, the power of having cookies, all of that stuff makes it for Facebook very easy to target the people that they know will like what's being advertised by a specific business. So in combination, all of that, so cheap cost per clicks, strong algorithm, that together is absolutely killing for kill it for businesses.
It's a killer for businesses. I mean, although it's not for everybody, right? Some niche wouldn't fit that somehow. Of course, I don't know if you guys ever or someone may have come to you, a client that was selling like marijuana products and medicines. I was like, no, man, I'm gonna pass on that. There's just no way that you're able to crack the code using Facebook ads. And he was so very pushy. No, we can do this, we can do that. Okay, then do it yourself. I don't want to risk my name doing it. But just a funny story I want to share out with you. But anyway, guys, I know with the current position you guys are in now, and I personally witnessed how you grew. With the campaigns we did together, it was really phenomenal. But with your experience, and when you try to look back, way back in the days, what do you think was the most challenging project or perhaps experience you had, for Paul running Facebook ads, for you, Rachel, doing some copywriting jobs for clients? Maybe let's start with Rachel now.
The most challenging thing with copywriting is that your client really needs to know your audience. That's just the biggest thing. I can't, as a copywriter, and to all copywriters, they can't make things up. So you ask your client a lot of questions, and you need to know that they've done their audience research, because without that, you cannot write compelling copy. You can't write your way to a good offer or to persuade an audience for something. So I think that's the biggest challenge I've had is asking the right questions to get the best answers to write the best copy and the most compelling copy.
Nice. Did you ever came to a point where the client went maybe mad or upset that you were bugging him or her around, trying to nail the avatar profiling, the target audience?
Yeah, sometimes not really bothered, but sometimes they seem like, why are you asking me this? You know, like, why are you asking so many questions?
Yeah.
Especially ones. But I think in the end they really understand why. It just takes it takes a few times to ask them, but
Yeah, good. What about you, buddy? Your biggest challenges, with a client, working with a client for Facebook ads, maybe the toughest you've encountered.
Well, there are kind of two things that create a challenging project for me. One is if the expectations are not clear, because Facebook ads stays a risk, like it's a risk high reward type of thing. You don't, like any investment, you don't know what you're gonna get out. So if the client, for example, if the client has higher expectations than reality, then he can put it, for example, on the people that work for him. So that will put a lot of stress in it. So as a marketer, I always try to kind of under promise and over deliver as far as that's possible.
Yes.
And will create a lot of, like, I will always say, like, we're not sure what's going to, especially if he doesn't have data, I will always say, not sure what's going to happen. Because you have to have some data to actually make strong predictions or reliable predictions. If the expectations are not clear, that will create challenging projects. And also, if they haven't validated their product or service in the market yet. So if they come with an ID and they instantly try to advertise without having checked kind of with their own audience or with people around them if this is actually something that people like and love and buy, then because then they also expect the world usually like, oh, this is the super ID. Maybe they're right. Sometimes they're actually right, but it can create a challenge. Because it's more unpredictable, and unpredictability is also difficult for the business owners, and sometimes because they of course want to conquer the world. And
true. That's always their vision, and I think I've maybe have went through the same situation you did, bro. With because people see like our profiles, right, in Upwork, and then our sites, they check us out. And then we see that we are, really progressing, and they can see results from previous clients. Automatically, they put that right at the back of their heads that we are the man behind their successes too. But that's not literally the truth, because again, at the end of the day, it has to do. We have so many. You guys know this. There are thousands of funnels out there that we can use and model. Right? There are thousands of ways how you can attract your persona or your target audience when you try to sell something. Just literally like what you did, bro. I think that's one of the biggest takeaway that I'm getting from you, at least for today. Try to make it low and over deliver. So at least the benefits of you understanding together would be pretty massive, and the expectation would be right there up in the bar. And I'm loving that. But right now, I mean, with all the success the company or the social tap is having these days, what do you think, guys, would be the biggest breakthrough that led you to where you are now, as far as the company is concerned?
Yeah.
What's the answer?
Yeah.
I think a few things. So, for example, first of all, the success, our breakthrough was mainly because our skills got much and much better. Because of that, we got testimonials. We got Rach and I both got Upwork top rated, and that's also quite big. You can always get like a new client if you feel like it. If you're Upwork top rated. We now understand really well what type of clients we want to work with and who we can get results for. So simplification, actually. Simplifying our whole business, knowing exactly who to work for, and honing down our skills strongly is our biggest breakthrough. I would say. Before we were doing all kinds of things. We were and building funnels and email sequences and copywriting, everything, and audience researches for companies. And now we really specialize in Facebook ads and specific types of businesses. That by itself just changed everything for us. Like we went from just a few, like now we're a 6-figure business like here. And that wasn't possible if we wouldn't just focus on kind of stop doing things that waste time and stop working for companies where I'm insecure about myself actually. Like just work with people that we have that for the types of business that we've had success for before. That makes it like much easier.
And by simplifying, that's the only way you can grow bigger. If you're always doing like all these little things and saying yes to everything that comes your way, you're never going to grow. Like you're going to always going around the hamster wheel.
You'll literally be all over the place. I think that I've went through that stage in my career too when I was starting up. Literally, I really wanted to be good in everything I do, and then I just realized that you can't master everything. There's just no way you can. There's certain fields that you can probably go and focus with. But just like myself, that's the hardest lesson I've learned in my career, having to do everything, which is really not progressing. Really not progressive, at least with what happened to me. So when I was introduced with funnel building, that's where, I've really literally mastered the craft. And guys, what about, let's say, because I know, Paul, bro, you shared over that you've done some events running Facebook ads, right? And it went really massive, as far as I remember. But bro, for me, that is the toughest thing to crack, man. What are the best practices you did, maybe that you can share over for people?
For events, we've actually cracked. We've done some events like festivals and also online events. For example, for the live events, it's really good if you have famous speakers or performers to make them do a commercial. So ask the speakers that will come there or like the musicians and ask if they can do a little video, and they make it from that. And when it comes to, let's say, online events like conferences, that's absolutely doing amazing right now. Tips for that is that, the thing is, you can build an audience, like email list of hundreds of thousands, make your profit, and then also instantly become like an authority in a network because you get to know people, all kinds of speakers and authors. So I would say it's a really great way to kick off as a coach, and then and the back itself is like higher ticket products and stuff. So
true. That's where most of the money comes in, the back end stuff.
So I would say for people that are coaches, I would recommend them to have a look at the online summits and see kind of if they can tap into it, just to get their head around it and see if they're interested in it, because it's really amazing.
Powerful.
Yeah. And seriously, that's the toughest thing to crack, man. I mean, with events really coming in right now, especially with this pandemic going on, online events like that could be something that people can tap, business owners can tap, generally. Wow, that's really interesting. I'm loving the idea, bro. Thanks for spilling out your best practices, Paul. Appreciate that, man. Now, maybe let's try and transition and talk about the birth of the Social Tap. How did you come up with the idea, like maybe the name, and then, the concept behind and officially launching your agency? I know it's pretty interesting. Please share with us.
Yeah, well, we were working separately on Upwork. Paul was getting his income from there. I was getting it. And we realized that we fill each other's shoes completely. So I've got the more creative side and Paul has the sciencey, techie side that I'll never understand. And so together we just worked. And then we just said, like, let's just become an agency together. And then, yeah, that was how it was birthed. The name, the name.
Well, we wanted, it was like the social tapping into your audience the social way. But
and it's also like a tap, like you're turning on the leads.
And then the social, social leads.
Oh,
I love it. First, I was really wondering, as I was really meaning to ask you that. I go, wow, how come they come up with this name? And I've been trying to dig into how the name got evolved, and then it should make sense with what you guys are doing, tapping, and then, in the social side of, the business. Genius mind. All props to you. All right. I mean, guys, considering that, the company has been, or the agency has been established now, I'm wondering, when you entered, the digital marketing world, who do you think was your biggest influences and you guys follow and you feel that influenced you somehow to do great with digital marketing?
Yeah. First of all, Kat Howell. She made us become an agency because we did her course. And she taught us how to streamline everything and have all these documents in order and make everything much more systematized than we were before. So we thank her so much for just simplifying everything, and also just her style. She's very into like looking at the copy and looking at the offer. And then also Russell Brunson for teaching us everything about the building funnels and copy and all the special offers that you can come up with. For me, Marie Folio as well for copywriting.
Marie Folio?
Yeah.
I follow her too.
Yeah, she's awesome.
What about you?
Yeah, first coach that first of all got us into affiliate marketing, Dan Chang, helped us, so I will definitely put him as the influencers. Robert Cialdini for marketing, psychology. Kat Howell also indeed, Russell Brunson for me. But also other people even like Jordan Peterson that kind of work on the mindset, that teach you like you should sacrifice now for a better potential life. And like
reframing your mind.
Yeah, you have to sacrifice for the things you want, and otherwise you will sacrifice what you want. Like you will sacrifice that potential. Like you have to sacrifice for your life, and that also influenced me to think bigger. And we all have these days where like, okay, today I'm not don't really feel like it or something. But then you take the wisdom from these influencers, and you just think, yeah, fuck it.
You see, right? I mean, those guys, I think both, me and you guys there, we have one common barometer, and I think it's Russell Brunson, which I feel that literally made this shit evolve like crazy for the past few years. I really couldn't imagine how genius his mind is, man. I don't know if you want to go back maybe around 2010, 2011, funnels were already the in thing during those times. Have you heard about Ryan Dice?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was actually doing it before. And are you familiar with lead pages before? Before ClickFunnels was invented, there was already lead pages. So I was like, dude, how can this be possibly, possible in a way? People don't need an actual site to sell right away and put the word outside the market. And then Russell Brunson came and literally blew the entire shit around, opened doors for so many millionaires now, but simply by having one idea and making it a reality. So I think what I'm getting from you is that you guys did invest on courses, right? Because you are openly willing to learn. And I guess for all the viewers and listeners, that's exactly something that you need to also probably consider. You gotta invest in learning. At the end of the day, it's gonna help you out, whatever it is. It could be through your mindset. It could be through the skill that you want to earn. It could be how Rachel does his thing or her thing with copywriting, and with Paul with Facebook ads. So invest. If there's a course you feel that resonates to what you do, then I mean, why not do it, right?
Yeah, of course. Always do your due diligence that these people have run ads and written copy, because that's super important, because now everyone and his dog is selling a Facebook ad course. And some of them are good and some of them are questionable.
Crappy.
But investing in courses, like everything that we've paid for courses has come back tenfold.
Tenfold.
In folds and folds. Yeah.
Nice. And guys, I mean, with the pandemic that has happened, guys, Paul, Rachel, how is it treating you and the agency so far?
Yeah, I mean, it's been good for us, Facebook ad-wise speaking, because a lot of people have had time to focus on courses and focus on themselves during this time. Of course, it's been devastating in other parts of the world. We can't say that we've been affected by the pandemic in a bad way. The Facebook ads and people who have been doing courses have been doing really well in these times. So we can only just be really thankful for that.
Exactly. And I mean, you know, today more than ever, tons of businesses are literally transitioning now to doing online stuff. So I think we're just all pretty blessed that we were able to, you know, venture into freelancing and doing digital marketing way ahead of the others. But definitely it's never too late, right? I mean, there's still some massive opportunity for growth. And I'm really happy that you guys weren't that affected as much as most I know that has been trying to make a living doing online jobs. But again, I commend you guys for keeping in shape despite everything that we've all been through lately. But guys, I know that you do love to travel, right? Literally digital nomads, I would say. What are your future plans? I mean, where do you plan to go next after all this fucking thing that happened to the world?
We really want to go to Mexico is our next destination.
Yeah, maybe I want to go to Svalbard this year, which is like the most northern town in the world. So there's more polar bears than humans. And if you have to walk outside of the town, you have to bring a gun. I'm so confused why Rachel doesn't want to come.
Really?
Yeah.
He's wondering.
And guys, you still have an open invitation here, huh? Don't forget about that.
Yes, definitely.
Go back to Asia also, and I also only gonna go to Svalbard for like a month or something. New York, maybe New Zealand, Brazil again. Rachel's half Brazilian, of
Brazil
course.
again, where you met Rachel, of course. Yeah. Anyway, would love to host you guys if in case you'd be able to get a chance again to come to Asia.
Yeah,
I so love it here, and I know you guys would probably love it here. And hopefully we can make that happen when this pandemic will come into an end. Hopefully in the nearest future. So guys, Paul, I mean, any final words for people looking to do Facebook ads or maybe trying to learn the skill? What are the things that you can probably share with them?
Yeah, I'm gonna make a course about Facebook ads, and it's gonna launch quite soon, maybe next month, I think, or in a month and a half. So they can they can learn some stuff there. If they want to learn, there's all kinds of people that teach it, of course, but I wouldn't learn it on YouTube because it is something you need to structurally learn. You need to, if you forget one step of the Facebook ads setup, for example, you might kind of ruin it a little bit. So make sure to do a course. or if you can find a really good on YouTube, maybe there are some kind of step-by-step on everything. Do your due diligence when it comes to learning from them, and just give it a go, man. It's really worth it, I would say. I mean, I didn't think that Mark Zuckerberg would change my life that much. Like when I was first here on Facebook, I didn't know that he was going to change my life completely. And so many other business. So I would say start by learning and then doing.
Yeah, and you didn't tell me about that, guys. We're gonna need to look out for Paul's course. If that will be coming in, of course, I'm gonna be updating the links over so everybody would be able to access, the course Paul would be offering. And Rachel, final words for aspiring freelancers or copywriters that's looking to start as well.
Yeah, I couldn't thank Upwork enough for building on that. So if you can go on Upwork and slowly build your portfolio, I recommend Marie Forleo's course, and take other courses, learn about psychology, be interested in, I think it just immensely helps if you're a copywriter interested in psychology and consumer behavior. And then building up on Upwork, and also if you do copy for ads, finding out from the advertiser what copies are working, because you can blast out any copies and then you'll never learn what worked and what didn't. So if each campaign you mark down what worked, what angles work, what imagery works, then you can become such a great copywriter by learning from
I agree. I'm so excited, guys. Thank you so much again. The words that you're putting out for my audience would really help them so much. It could really bring some inspiration. Paul, you mentioned you never really imagined to be having everything you have now the moment you tapped into doing, Facebook ads, right? Same with Rachel when you started. Same with me when I started. So what we are doing, there's definitely potential for you to grow. And I'm really hoping that this podcast would inspire you even more in trying to step away from the traditional type of, guys, come on, guys, who would want to work in a corporate world for the rest of your life, right? You couldn't travel, right? You couldn't be earning the money you should be earning. You're trying to make other people rich, not yourself. That's just my take, of course. Right? So, guys, once again, thank you so much for being here. How can people reach you? How can, clients from my end would be able to get a hold of you guys?
You can go to info@thesocialtap.org, or they can go to www.thesocialtap.org and then tap with a P.
Right. And they can book a consultation there, right?
Free consultation, and we can check over your goals and see where we can how we can help you.
Yeah, for sure. And guys, you better need to go to their site. You'd be able to see some actual case studies there and testimonials that you could really help you in terms of running your due diligence, with Paul and Rachel and the agency itself, the Social Tap. And gonna need to take my word for this because I've worked with these guys for quite long now, and I've seen their work ethic, and most importantly, I've seen their results. So you have my word on it. So I'll be putting up links on this episode for you to access. So if you're seriously thinking of scaling your business, you need to reach out to these guys. Whatever information that you need from them, they would be more than happy and willing to help you out. So guys, any final words maybe for me that you want to say?
Well, I think it's interesting also that all three of us got where we are because we got better in our skills, I guess. Like if we learn a skill and focus on it, then you really get somewhere, kind of, I guess.
Exactly. I love that. Rachel?
I think meeting you was one of our breakthroughs as well. Like you were so inspirational and so knowledgeable, and when we worked together, it was like this force, and it was so exciting. And it made us like see like the next milestone in our future by
and,
what.
You know what? We went through a lot of roadblocks as well, right? Together. And then we were able to, overcome those, and we'll learn from those experiences. And then literally my vision with building funnels before this will be coming from maybe 3-4 years ago, is that I really focused on the product race. And I didn't realize how much the power of copy plays a huge role, especially on the back end where you're positioning a higher ticket item. And when then I saw your copy, and then I saw how Paul did the retargeting campaigns, and I was like, what the fuck are we doing? This is great. It was really phenomenal. And that literally made the transition in my mind that no one could literally master everything. No one, in my opinion, just literally no one. There's none. If you're good at funnels, then you're good at funnels. Copywriting, put that in another maybe an expert like yourself, and then Paul with Facebook ads. And that is exactly what happened when, I don't know if I shared it with you, Paul, that dating niche I was talking about, which literally made it really big right now. We're at 2.8 million in 9 months. It was because of that suggestion. I literally told the owner, dude, we need a team. If you can't provide that, I'm not going to be working with you. Seriously.
Yeah.
And then all the experts all in one team. It was really phenomenal. And guess what? I learned this from working with us together. So I took that knowledge. See, you can see how seamless it would be. And you guys were pretty instrumental in my transition and my mind setting, of course, during that time. And guys, again, what a phenomenal episode we have. Thank you so much for honoring me being here on our show. Thank you, guys.
So much for inviting us.
I'm hoping you have a blast today.
Yeah, we did. Nice. It was great, and it's really nice to know that people who were in our shoes like 4 years ago can listen to this and hopefully feel inspired to do the same.
Can I ask you one question?
Yeah, sure, bro. Go.
When you started, as a VA, or how did you how did you start actually?
Oh, interesting. I would love to share for sure. Well, I was a security guard before, earning crappy money. I couldn't buy food literally for myself, how low my income was. Then I went through and ventured working for call center companies. I am an undergraduate, guys. Although I studied AB journalism just only for 2 years, stopped school because I felt like I'm not growing. Maybe the youth came in. I was really loving, going out, party, very irresponsible growing up. Then I ventured into working in a call center company. That's when I mastered the skill about marketing. I was assigned as a sales representative, and I was really loving it. Apart from the money I'm getting, I'm loving the, trying to sell. It's what I really love so much. When you sold something, you nailed it. I loved it. And then, my wife, Macy, just so you know, Paul, she also is a psychology graduate like you. So with my mind and her mind all in together, so it really blossomed so big. Then she got pregnant. I went over here in South Cotabato in Mindanao, southern part of the country. Decided to, try and venture some jobs here. And then unfortunately, I just couldn't find a high-paying job here because it's a province, not a city. So it was tough. Then I went to Odesk. It was now it's called Upwork, right? It was named Odesk before. So I did that, went through, saw an old computer. Imagine it, 512 MB, that's slow, that fucking slow. Just literally placed it in, made my account, and then started as a virtual assistant. So that was the story. Then, of course, I'm a very ambitious person, So I was like earning $2.50 during those times. And I was like, fuck it, I'm going to take that, whatever it is. At least I have work and I should be thankful about it. But then I was introduced to digital marketing and I'm also into marketing. And I was like, this is where I'm headed, right? Because I'm seeing money on it. And go, I would love this thing. Then landed with a coach, a business coach. I was like 32 years old during that time. And the coach I was working with was like 20. I was like, why is he guy making money and I'm not? So what did I do? Since I have firsthand access to every single thing he does, the courses, how he does his Facebook ads, how he does his videos, all those stuff, I've absorbed tons of it, man. I did. And then that literally made and shifted my mindset. So when I finally decided to step up a bit and, upskill, that's the first thing. And all props to the coach I worked with. That's where all my knowledge came from. And then literally opened the freaking doors for me and my family. So that's the story, man.
Amazing.
So cool.
It is. Yeah. From a security guard down to this, and now I have my, I have my house, I have car, I invest in properties, and now I'm trying to pay it forward with people right now, because I'm not a big believer of passing money, literally handing it over to people. I would probably love to pass the knowledge. That way they can make money themselves.
Yeah, definitely.
What do you call that thing? What you fish with again? What do you call it?
Fishing rod.
Or fishing rod. You don't give them a fishing rod, but you're teaching them how to make one. That's
yes. You gotta need to know how to make one. It's easy to give them out something, right? But when knowledge is passed on, that's a different story, because you got to be instilling that within you, and that's the vision of this podcast. Nothing but up.
Nothing but up.
Nothing but up. Once again, guys, thank you so much for spending time with me today, and my audience as well. And let's probably try and wrap this up. I know you guys are busy. So let's wrap up the show. Once again, this is Jameer Angelo. This is Nothing But Up, the podcast, and I'll see you on our next episode. Peace out, yo.
I'm always flexing.
Thanks for tuning in. Download this episode and pass on the news. Hit like and subscribe. Watch out for our next episode coming out next.